Last week, I did a presentation around my journey of recovery from the huge mental health crash I experienced 4 years ago. And at the end of the presentation, someone asked a really good question. She said she's got a friend who is suffering, and how can she support her friend? So I thought I'll record this video, maybe talk about 2 points. First thing to say someone is that don't lose hope. Doesn't matter how bad things look, feel at the moment, and recovery is possible. And ideally, it refers to somebody or think about someone known to that person who has made a recovery. For me personally, I kept thinking about 2 of my friends. The first person she was in her mid-60s when she experienced depression, and she ended up in the psychiatric ward in the Wellington Hospital for almost 5 years. But somehow she recovered, and in her mid-70s now, she's published 5 books and working on the second show, like a solo show, a theater production, which is huge amount of work. And she's a professional speaker and also an Airbnb host. At mid-70s now, she's got more energy than most people half her age. The second person is one of my Dutch mates. He experienced severe depression and anxiety, late 50s, I think, and took a number of years to recover, but now living his best life. So keep reminding that person, while the recovery is not linear progression, recovery is possible. Don't lose hope. For the second point, I'd like to talk about a metaphor. Think about a plant in the corner of your section in the garden that's been there for almost 10 years but is only about that high. But you take that plant from that position and move into a different position, probably a better sun and maybe softer soil, and it might take off. You're changing the situation to improve a recovery, a result. And what I have observed is there are about 5 conditions that you need from a recovery point of view. One is non-judgmental friends, family support. Number 2, the person is being prescribed medications, and if the medication is working, someone to make sure the person is taking medication on time as prescribed, as when you are in a depression mode, it is not something a lot of times you are able to do by yourself. The third thing is eliminating or at least reducing any kind of drugs, alcohol, dependency or addictions. Number 4 is physical fitness. Number 5 is good nutrition. And I'll talk about an acronym now. It's called ACE. A is to be active, C is to be connected, E is to be engaged. So I'll expand on that. A, being active. Depression hates a moving target. But however, when you're in total depressed mode, doing any kind of exercise feels almost impossible. But if you can somehow move the body even a little bit, that's a huge thing. There were some days that I couldn't even, only thing I could do was walk 3 meters to my toilet. So somehow being active is a massive step forward. See, being connected. When you're depressed, all you want to do is curl under a blanket, avoid any kind of people contact. But again, if we can keep connecting to people, that's a big thing. For me, going to my gym and getting to my Toastmasters meetings, that help a lot. For some people, a church group or a spiritual group, if you can attend them, that will be massive. And he is being engaged, and doesn't matter how bad you are, there'll be someone who is worse off than you. So think about somebody that you could help, even in a tiny little way. I found volunteering as the best way to do this. And before I wrap up the video, I thought I should talk about what is not useful. Telling somebody saying to somebody that this is all in your head or think positively is not very helpful. Because if it was that easy, then we won't need mental health professionals and this world will be a wonderful place. So rather than giving advice, see if you can turn it into a question. I'll give you an example. Rather than telling somebody, get up and go for a walk, turn it into a question saying, what are even the tiny little steps that you could take to walk from your bed or the couch to the letterbox? And then shut up. Don't say anything until the person replies. So if you ask me on a day that I'm feeling really horrible, how would I answer something like this? First step number 1, sit up on the couch. Step 2, stand up. Step 3, take few tiny steps forward. Step 4, walk up to the front door and grab the doorknob. Step 5, open the door and step into outside. Step 6, walk to the letterbox. Step 7, touch the letterbox and maybe go, yes. Then maybe you can ask 2 follow-up questions. What time do you think you'll be able to do it? Next question could be, once you get to the letterbox, can you take a photo of your hand on the letterbox and send it to me? Now I have to tell you something. You have to forget about the outcome, because everything that the person said that he or she will do may not be possible on that day. But you can be happy and proud that you have increased the chance of that happening, the probability of that happening 1,000 times. Supporting somebody struggling with mental health is not easy. You need a huge amount of empathy, compassion, and patience. So to end this video, I thought I'll share one of my favorite quotes. It goes like this: courage doesn't always roar. Courage is that little voice sometimes at the end of the day that says, I will try again tomorrow. Thank you.